assuming you're going to edit this as well.
I hope so. I think I can. All right. It's good meeting with you again, Mr. Fernandez. I was so thankful to come into your classroom yesterday and observe you on February 4th, 2015, during your first period physics. So I thought it went really well. You started the class really good. The procedure for your warm-up was fantastic. The kids walked in, they got your the worksheets they needed for the day, and then they sat down quietly. They didn't, there was no fussing. They weren't moving around, jumping off the walls and stuff. It was great. And then as soon as the announcements came on, they stood up. They all did the Pledge of Allegiance. After that, they sat down. They did, they sat quietly while they listened to the rest of the announcements. After that, you did a good job, explaining what you guys were going to do at the start of the lesson. And then after that, you got them right to work. You broke them up into groups, which was good. You didn't let them choose their own groups. And then you gave them their materials, and they got to work. So I thought that was really good. Great way to start the lesson. And then as time went on, I noticed that you were walking around. You were asking them questions, making sure that they knew what they were supposed to do. They would ask you questions if they had any trouble. And really, they didn't really need a lot of motivation to stay on task because they were, for the most part, already engaged in their lessons. It was fantastic to see that they were constantly on task. And I think part of that was that you put them in small enough groups and that you gave them an assignment to do that it kept them constantly engaged. So that was good. I also liked the classroom setup. I feel like the way you have the classroom set up, it allowed you to walk around very quickly. It provided more open space for the students to walk around if they needed to get around.
Right.
I thought that was really good. I like that you had your content objective and language objective written on your board so the students could see that. And I like that you had some student work over in the lab area up on the walls as well.
Yeah, I had it in this side of the room, but with testing, I had to take it down.
Yeah. So
Now that I
testing.
just put it up.
Yeah. So it was especially with testing. So we had to take that down, but that's fine. So I like how the classroom is set up, and it allows for you to also get to any student if they have any needs. I wasn't able to stay, as you know. I had to leave early, but I noticed as I was going through that, for the most part, the majority of the students were on task. And like I said, they had questions. They asked questions of you. And I also noticed that for the most part, they were getting through the lab fairly quickly, and they were understanding it. They didn't really have much trouble proceeding with it. So that was good. Really, the only points of improvement, I would say, on that lesson, I noticed that the only issue I had was, not really issue, but one thing I did notice was that when they came in, they sat down and they did wonderful sitting there. When they sat down, they didn't really have anything else to do, so I think they weren't as engaged.
Right.
And so my improvement suggestion would be maybe give them a question at the beginning, like a warm-up question, so that they'll be you can get them right into the content, and it gets them thinking about what they're supposed to be doing. Other than that, I think as you're going around, I think the only other suggestion would be to maybe, instead of letting them ask you questions and you asking them, smaller, minor questions, maybe asking them some higher level questions, like things that are content related as well.
Right.
So, otherwise, I was very impressed. Do you have any questions for me?
Is there a resource I can use to get higher level questions?
Yeah. We have, as you know, you have Bloom's taxonomy. It does, show you the different levels of questions, and we've gone over it in some professional development and stuff as well. But I know there are probably some resources online that that can give you some question stems, is what they call them, where it kind of gives you how to start the question, and then you can add the content related stuff there as well. So, but I'll get you with Leslie, who's our content specialist, and she can help you out with that as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, any other questions for me?
No, that'd be about it.
All right, that's awesome. Okay. well, you know where to find me if you have any other questions about your PDOS or anything. I should get that into Eduphoria hopefully within 10 days.
Sounds great.
Otherwise, you can come at me. So, well, like I said, that was it. So
Okay,
I
no
look
problem.
forward to meeting with you again. It's a pleasure doing
All right.
business with
Thank
you,
you.
sir. All right.
I'm sorry.